Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Adborn Real Estate Insights. My name is Joy Adebayo, and we'll be talking about importance of land documentation to land value. And we start with a chart showing how land title affects positively the land value. Here we have the land title, which is topping the chart. We have the security from lender and the owner. We have it more cheaper when we have the long-term credit because of the profit, the interest rate on it, and we have more investment on the land value. We have higher inputs and so on. And the next slide we have here, it's how to know your land title. So we have various specimens which will be identifying, but first we start with an opening quote. We said, without that sense of security which property gives, the land will still be uncultivated. What do you mean by that? That if you don't have a sense of security, a land title, the land will just stay void without being cultivated. And we start by defining what land means, like we did in the last episode, which land is the surface of the earth that is not sea. And land is real estate, like we know it. It's what you can feel physically, which is an asset that can be used for various purposes as the owner wishes. And now we're going to define what land title is. So what is title? A title is a document that shows legal ownership to a land or landed property. So that's what a title is. So we have various types of land title, and we have 14 lists according to my slide here. And the first one is Certificate of Occupancy, which is popularly known as C of O, and we have Right of Occupancy, R of O, Deed of Assignment, Land Acquisition, Deed of Lease, Deed of Sublease, Land Certificate, Deed of Mortgage, Deed of Gift, Deed of Grant, Survey Plan, Governor's Consent, Registered Conveyance, which is popularly known as RC, and we have the Purchase Receipt. So going by this, we are going to identify one after the other. So what is C of O? It's the Certificate of Occupancy. It's a title issued by the governor of a state to lease a piece of land to an individual for a tenure of 99 years, in line with the Land Use Act enacted in 1978 in Nigeria. According to this, we have the specimen of how a certificate of occupancy looks like we have a certificate in school. So this is a sample of it, and according to my slide, it's a specimen. So this is how you always view a certificate of occupancy, and it always have an expiration date, which is 99 years. That's the duration of a C of O. The next year is R of O, which is Right of Occupancy. It is the right of a person or community lawfully using land or occupying land in accordance with customary laws, particularly for agriculture, residential, and other purposes. So we also have what we call R of O, Right of Occupancy. It's also looking like a certificate, which most of the time is given per the land is allocated C of O. The next we have here is Deed of Assignment. It's a kind of document, like not unlike the certificate. This is a document stating the transfer of ownership of a parcel of land from one individual to another. And this is a specimen of how it looks like. It always have different leaflets showing the details of the buyer and the seller, the land location, the amount it's sold for, and the likes of it. Then we have next land decision. What do we mean by land decision? It's a part of a land that has been legally released to indigenous settlers by government gazette, and it's time to be exited. This signifies that the land is no longer under government acquisition, so C of O procedure is now possible. And this is a specimen of how a land gazette, a land execution is. So with this, you can excite a land to a particular indigenous settlers in a particular region by the state governor of a particular place. It's practiced all over Nigeria, and it could be published in a newspaper or any public hearing that we have. The next one is Deed of Lease. What do we mean by Deed of Lease? It's also a document that outlines the specific terms and conditions of a lease of a lease agreement between two or more parties. This document can protect both landlords and tenants and help ensure that everyone involved understands their rights and responsibility. So we have this is also like a kind of tenancy agreement, which is deed of lease, to show durations, amounts, who and who is holding the rights and responsibility of the particular property or land. And the next one we have here is deed of sublease. What do we mean by deed of sublease? Going by the name, it's when you are a lessor of a particular lessee rather, you can have the right to also sublease to someone else. And we refer to this as a document by which a tenant, which is the lessor, sublet a part or all of leased premises to another person. The right of a tenant or lessee to sublease largely depends upon the terms of the original lease. So going by the original lease document or agreement, you can derive the sublease of the rights and responsibility of uses. And here we have land certificate. Going by the name as well, a certificate. This is a specimen of how it looks like. It's a land issue. It's a certificate issued by the land registry prior to the implementation of the Land Registration Act of 2002 to the owner to register land as evidence of ownership. Before the implementation of land registration, this is what the government gave land certificates to landowners in Nigeria. And we have deed of mortgage. What is deed of mortgage? It's an agreement between a home buyer and a lender that allows the bank to effectively hold the title to the borrower's house and stipulating the terms of repaying the loan on a piece of property. What do we mean by this? All these statements we have made. It means that, for example, a homeowner wants to loan from a bank. What the bank gives you in collecting your certificate, maybe you have a CFO, is deed of mortgage, and it will stipulate all the terms when you'll be repaying the loan. And with that, they have the collateral, which is the certificates of your house, in their custody pending you repay their loan. Then you can get back your certificate and the deed is over. And the next we have deed of gifts, and which we also have deed of grants. These are similar, but deed of gifts is a voluntary transfer of property from one party to another without consideration, while deed of grant is a legal document used to transfer ownership of real property. Gift or gift is just like we always give to schools, corpers when they win an award and the rest. While deed of grant, let's assume you have a portion of land and you want to give some square meter house, then you get a lawyer to prepare deed of grant for the transfer of the portion of land you are giving out as a transfer or a grant. And here we have survey plan. In the slide here we have both showing provisional survey plan and registered survey plan. The difference here is the provisional has lesser details, which is the stamp, the details of the survey, the registered, the survey plan and the like, while the provisional only has the chart showing the location of the land and the square meter and where it is located. It shows relevant information about a parcel of land, such as measurement, description, owner, and so on, just like I've explained, and it shows also that it's not under government acquisition. That's the importance of this survey plan. And the next here we have governor's consent. What is governor consent? Just like we have in the specimen here, we have where the governor signed consent that they've given out. They're sure that okay, the transaction that contained between two parties has been legal. That is the essence of this governor consent. According to my definition here, it's a consent obtained from the governor of a state on a land transaction without which will be deemed illegal in the eyes of the governor and the law. So if without this governor consent, it will be deemed that okay, this land has not really been transferred from one party to another. So it is also necessary. And the next one we have here is registered conveyance, which is popularly known as housing. Yes, some particular land is either in Yaba, Lagos, and the Lagos Island, they always possess RC, registered conveyance. And what is RC? It's a document which was the authentic evidence of ownership until 1978 Land Use Act that introduced certificates of occupancy. Prior to certificate of occupancy, this used to be the overall land title on every parcel of land in Nigeria that is well recognized and it's authentic. So nowadays, you still see some land, some property possessing registered conveyance. So it's still valid in the law. It's not void. It's not void rather. And the next one we have here is purchase receipt. So what is purchase receipt? We have a specimen here where you have the land title document, the written acknowledgement of having received a specific amount of money for exchange of a product, land or house. So you only have the name of the buyer, the amount, the date, and the other description of what was purchased. That's what we always refer to as purchase receipt when it comes to land titling. And a question raised there is, can Adborn Harvest and Homes assist in processing any of the titles stated? Yes, we do. On request, we assist customers to process their land legal documents at a allocated fees. So it's not free. You pay a token which could be discussed because we have in-house lawyer that does all the documentation at the different Ministry of Land in different states. So our wisdom quote for today, we stand as our closing quote, is a land without a title is a dead asset. If you have a land, a property, an asset without a title, it becomes a dead asset because the land we appreciate, it won't have value to anybody. And this is a quote by my humble self, Joy Adebayo. And we come to the end of today's training. And if you have any question, comment, kindly drop at our comment section, which we will attend to. Thank you for staying tuned.